Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Citi Premier credit card. So I'm going to be going over the main features of the card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video you should have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. Now, before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Also, if you would like to receive some free stocks and help my channel out as well, I will leave a couple of different links in a pinned comment as well as the description box below where you can receive just that. Okay, so diving right into the main features of this credit card, starting out, as long as you're able to spend at least $4,000 within the first 3 months of opening your account, you will receive a bonus of 75,000 points, which is going to be redeemable for $750 in gift cards or travel rewards at thankyou.com. Now, in addition to being able to earn that spend bonus on every single purchase, you're also going to be earning thank you points as well. So you're going to actually be earning 3x points per dollar spent in so many different categories. So for example, you'll be earning 3x points per dollar spent on air travel and other hotels, 3x points at restaurants, 3x points at gas stations, as well as supermarkets. And then on all other purchases, you will be earning 1 point per dollar spent. And then there's actually a special category where for a limited period of time, you can actually earn 10 points per dollar spent on hotels and car rentals as long as you book them through the Citi travel portal through June 30th of 2024. Now, once you get this credit card and accumulated all the points, the $750 bonus, plus all the transactions that you make with it, there's different ways in which you can redeem your thank you points with this card. So starting out just real basic, you can use them towards a statement credit. You can use them to get a direct deposit into your checking or savings account, or if you want to receive a check in the mail, you can opt for that option as well. You can also use them to redeem for gift cards, booking travel, and if you're feeling especially giving, you can actually donate your points to charity as well. Now, in addition to the generous spend bonus that you can receive with this credit card in all of the 3x point categories, there are also some other many great benefits with this card as well. So just in the travel category alone, you can receive a $100 annual hotel savings benefit. So if you stay in a hotel and within one stay, you spend at least $500 or more before the fees and tax, you can receive a $100 statement credit as long as you book your hotel stay through thankyou.com. You're also going to be enjoying the fact that you're not going to be having any foreign transaction fees. So if you do happen to travel abroad, this is definitely a card that you can bring with you because you won't be hit with any extra fees for using it. So that's obviously going to be a positive as well. And then they also have the points transfer option, so you can transfer thank you points to participating airline loyalty programs, including TrueBlue, Virgin Atlantic, Flying Club, and Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer. There is no fee, and the minimum transfer is only 1,000 points. So if you have other loyalty programs that you would like to transfer your points to, you're always going to have that option as well. Now, in addition to the travel benefits that you'll have with this card, you're also going to have access to Citi Entertainment. So you can get special access to purchase tickets to thousands of events, including pre-sale tickets and exclusive experiences for the year's most anticipated concerts, sporting events, dining experiences, and more. Okay, so those are the biggest main features about this card. At this point, I'm going to go into what the APR and fees are because remember, this is also super important to know as well. So starting out, as far as the APR goes for both purchases and balance transfers, it is going to start out anywhere between 20.99 and 28.99%, of course, based on your credit worthiness. And if you do happen to take out a cash advance, which on this channel we recommend to stay strongly far away from, unless you absolutely have to, the APR for cash advances is going to be 29.99%. Now, in addition to the 29.99% APR for cash advances, there's actually going to be a fee on top of that as well. So for any cash advance that you do take out, there's going to be a fee of either $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever number happens to be greater. Now on balance transfers, if you happen to do one of those as well, there's also going to be a fee on top of the APR for that as well. So that fee is also going to be either $5 or 5% of the amount of each transaction, whichever happens to be greater. Now, like I mentioned earlier on in today's video, luckily there is not going to be a foreign transaction fee with this card. So if you do happen to travel abroad, it's one you can definitely take with you and use because you're not going to be hit with any extra fees. And then of course, if you happen to have a late payment or a return payment, there's also going to be a fee of up to $41. Now, in a lot of cases, if you happen to have a late payment, maybe for the first time or two, you can actually call into Citi and ask if they can waive the fee as like a one-time convenience, and they might be able to do so. But the best plan of action is just to pay on time, set up an auto payment if you absolutely have to, mark it on the calendar, whatever you have to do, just make sure that you're paying on time and in full. Now, in addition to that, this card does have a $95 annual fee, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because generally I do like cards that have no annual fee, but just keep in mind that you're also going to be receiving the $100 statement credit for hotel stays as long as you're spending at least $500 in the single stay and you book your hotel on thankyou.com. So the $100 statement credit sort of wipes out the $95 annual fee, but just keep that in mind as well. Okay, so now that I went over the main features of this credit card as well as the APR and fees, I'm now going to go ahead and dive right into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and cons of this credit card. So starting out with the pros, of course, it has to be the 75,000 bonus points that you can earn as long as you're able to spend at least $4,000 within the first 3 months of having this credit card. For some people, this might be a little bit difficult to achieve. For others, it may not be too difficult, but that's going to be $750 that you can redeem for a statement credit, check in the mail, travel, or anything like that. In addition to that, you're also going to be earning a lot of points while making these transactions. They have a lot of 3x point categories. So again, those are on air travel and hotels, restaurants, gas stations, and supermarkets. Plus, there's that 10x point category that you'll earn on hotel and car rental bookings as long as you book through the Citi Travel portal, and that's going to be through June 30th of 2024. And finally, the last pro of this credit card is the fact that every single year you can earn a statement credit of up to $100 on hotel stays as long as you're spending at least $500 per stay. That could be all in one day, or it could be throughout 5 days. The only thing that you have to make sure of here is that it is all in one stay, and then you also book on thankyou.com. Again, it has to be a minimum purchase of $500 before any of the fees or taxes. So those are the biggest pros of this credit card. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and go into the cons. So starting out, the biggest drawback of this credit card is the fact that yes, there is a $95 annual fee, but again, as long as you're making hotel stays, hotel purchases of at least $500 or more every single year, and this is something that you normally do, not just something that you're going out of your way to do it, to earn the $100 credit, that's pretty much going to offset the $95 annual fee. So if you think of it that way, it's really not that big of a deal. And the second drawback really isn't that big of a deal either. It's just the fact that in order to be approved for this credit card, most likely you will have to have a credit score in the good to excellent range. So you might qualify for that, you might not qualify for it. And even if you do have a pretty good credit score, there's always the chance there that you might still get turned down if you have opened up too many lines of credit recently or something like that. But just to sum things up here, all in all, this is a credit card that I would definitely recommend, especially if you travel at least once per year and you usually stay in hotels. And especially if you're going to spend the $500 or more in one single hotel stay, just because that pretty much is going to null out the $95 annual fee. You're going to be receiving a lot of benefits with this credit card. Remember, you're going to be earning these 75,000 bonus points as long as you're able to spend at least $4,000 within the first 3 months. Now, obviously, you don't want to go out and spend $4,000 that you normally don't spend. But if you usually spend $4,000 every 3 months or so on your normal transactions, or maybe you have a larger transaction coming up and $4,000 isn't going to be that big of a deal, this would be a great card. Plus, you're going to be earning 3x points per dollar spent in so many different categories. So all in all, this is a pretty good card and one that I would definitely recommend. Now, if you don't usually travel a lot, you don't think you can hit the $500 in hotel stays in one single stay, then it gets a little bit iffy. But at least for the first year of having this card, earn the 75,000 bonus points plus all the cash back that you're going to be receiving, the thank you points. That's obviously going to be pretty beneficial, at least for the first year, but after that, things do get a little bit iffy. But that's all I have for today's review. I certainly hope that you found it helpful. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like, consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.